Welcome to another Buckeye Talk video. Doug Lesmerises, Stephen Means, Nathan Baird. It's Tuesday evening, and on Tuesday, we have the opportunity to speak with Ryan Day, head coach, Corey Dennis, quarterbacks coach, Kyle McCord, C.J. Stroud, Jack Miller, Ohio State quarterbacks at the indoor facility at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. Practice starts Wednesday. We had not ever talked to these quarterbacks since this competition began. We did not talk to the quarterbacks in the spring. So they never got to talk to us without us saying, what about Quinn Ewers? Sorry. Nathan.
That's not our fault.
No, yeah. I know. It's like, I mean, it would have been great to just only talk about, hey, you guys are battling it out, whatever. Do we learn something? What did we learn? And I don't want to be dismissive of like, I mean, what was interesting? What did we get? What did anybody say on Tuesday that influenced our knowledge of the quarterback race?
Well, I think one thing, just go back to the conversation / discussion / argument that we were having on Tuesday's podcast.
Listen, you don't got to slash it. Don't slash it. It's just an argument. It's not a discussion or a conversation.
Hold on. It's just an argument. Buckeye Talk.
Yeah.
What's the crux of that argument? And part of it is how much have these guys grown and developed and improved in the time that they've been at Ohio State compared to this ceiling that we think Quinn Ewers is flopping in here with in the next week or 10 days whenever he gets here. And so I kind of wanted to find out how those guys feel like they had grown. And I was over at Kyle McCord's table. He's literally grown. He said about 10 pounds, thinks that makes him, tougher in the pocket and puts a little bit more power on his throws. The biggest thing I got from him, though, one thing that jumped out to me was him saying that he feels a lot looser now coming back to camp. Ryan Day's made a big deal about how this isn't the first practice of preseason. It's the 16th practice if you extend it back to the spring. And Kyle McCord basically said like he is looser now than he was in the spring. Like you come in the spring, a true freshman, that it's this opportunity right in front of you. Then you're competing against two other strong guys, and that there's a lot thrown at you really quickly. And now he feels like he's just maybe in a better mental place as this is about to get started again on Wednesday morning.
So I spent most of my time with Jack Miller, and I don't know if your guys got into this at all. Jack Miller did say they've had conversations. He didn't say that they've talked about it since the Quinn Ewers announcement, but in general, he said that the coaches, Ryan Day, has talked to them about like, make sure there's no bad blood. There's a competition, but you're still teammates. Ryan Day said the thing on Tuesday that he said before, that they're going to need all these guys. And it's a little bit like, it makes it hard to be like, they're going to need all the quarterbacks. When they won the national title with their third string quarterback, it's like, that's their trump card every time. It's like, you start to roll your eyes about quarterback competition coach speak. And Ryan Day's like, Cardale Jones, anyone? It's like, fine, I get it. Your third string quarterback's going to win the national title, but
young dudes
and young, but that they are saying that, right? Like, let's make sure there's not bad blood. It needs to be stated, right? You don't magically snap your fingers and make sure that doesn't happen. But I did think it was interesting that Jack Miller said that Ryan Day has said that to the quarterbacks. Stephen, you spent most of your time with C.J. Stroud. What vibe? C.J. Stroud, leader in the clubhouse, the guy we all think is going to start the opener against Minnesota. What was the vibe you got from him about what's going on right now?
With the Quinn Ewers situation, the vibe seemed very, we knew about it. We weren't blindsided by this, obviously. We just don't really care. Like, it's just another guy in the room. He said all the right things. We're going to welcome him with open arms. I'm glad he's got a chance to make some money off of his name. It's cool that we can do all that stuff now. Obviously, you got to ask some questions about what's that going to mean, being Ohio State's quarterback, being able to cash in like this. And that was all cool to him. But what this boils down to is he understands that there's a perception that right now he's viewed as the leader, which is not necessarily the C.J. Stroud story, right? Even how he got here. He's not the leader in getting to Ohio State. He was a late blooming prospect who really only got here because DJ Uiagalelei backed out of the Elite 11. So he got an opportunity. He went there and shined. So this is new territory for him. And yet he's still going to approach it as if he is the guy who didn't initially get the invite to Elite 11. He still sees himself as an underdog. And with the Quinn Ewers situation, come on in, brotherhood, all that stuff. It's cool. I just really don't care that much.
It is interesting that Quinn Ewers, we've talked a lot about on the Buckeye Talk podcast, on 2 podcasts on Quinn Ewers, and there'll be another Buckeye Talk up on Wednesday talking a lot about, not a lot, all. That's all we're going to talk about. The quarterback situation, what's going on with this team entering the preseason. Obviously, Quinn Ewers is a part of that. he looms, but he also provides the opportunity for the guy who's leading the race to once again feel like an underdog.
Mm-hmm.
So all these guys can be like, oh, 5-star coming in. Oh, everybody thinks he's right, which is like, again, everybody loves it. The overdog who acts like an underdog. C.J. Stroud was nobody's underdog until a couple days ago.
Yep.
At least for 2021. You know, it's like, oh, okay, we'll see how good the starter is. And then Quinn's going to come in and then we'll see what's up. Now, all of a sudden, C.J. Stroud has like an extra, thing, a burr in his saddle to motivate him if he needs it. Not that he needs it, but all three of these guys. There was a little bit of like, at least with Jack, a little bit of like, well, the three of us this, well, the three of us that. Well, and it's not like it's 3 against 1, because I'm not saying, but these guys have been through the grinder for the last year together, right? That Kyle got here for spring. So CJ and Jack were here in the fall, and then Kyle got here. They've had like a good 8 months of the three of them like doing their thing. And so it felt a little bit to me, Nathan, I don't know if you guys got this vibe either, a little bit like new guy and the established guys, even though the established guys, again, have never started, have never thrown a pass. They have been doing this. And I think they wanted to, today, I did think they were interested in making sure everybody knew that and stating for the record all they've learned, how they've grown, how they're stronger, how they understand playing quarterback better because of the time they've spent here.
I think we're probably going to depth more about this on Wednesday's Buckeye Talk, but I think going back to what you were saying before, we always, I think, try to guess which of these things is happening by accident and which of them is happening by design. And you wonder if what you're saying before about how there can't be any bad blood, these guys need to sort of support each other, even as they're competing against each other. What sort of helps them do that now? The three guys that were already here is dropping this new element in on top of everything. And now it kind of gets to become 3 against 1. Not that they're going to be adversarial against, Quinn Ewers and then you have to manage that too a little bit. I mean, Ryan Day, a lot of questions today from me were directed towards Ryan Day and Corey Dennis about how are you guys managing the mental side of this? Because you want these guys to stay focused. And then, all of a sudden now here within the last week, the whole thing gets turned upside down. Let's be realistic. What's happening here? And Ryan Day said, like, you absolutely have to have the right mindset. They have to manage the mindset in that room to make sure those guys, because if you don't, then that's where it all gets off the rails.
And then there's the aspect of it where we're talking about physical development and stuff. I'm pretty sure at some point, all of them talked about that. I mean, CJ Stroud made it perfectly clear. I've grown physically. I'm up to 218 pounds, and the goal is to be at 220. He wasn't 218 when he got here. He looked like Justin Fields' little brother. And then when I saw him in the national championship game warming up, he didn't look like little brother anymore. So some of that is just, we don't care, but also we're ready to go. That guy's got a long way to go to be able to play on this football field. We don't have that much longer of a way to go because we've gone through that development process that he clearly still needs to go to. And it's kind of similar. It's not quite Tate Martellus, but the idea of how Tate Martell back in the Rose Bowl was talking about, it takes a year to learn this offense. No one's going to come in and just take it. That's some of the vibe here. It takes a while to learn this. No one's going to come here and take it. And guess what?
All right, we're going to stop.
We're going
to stop because we're going to direct people to Buckeye Talk. We're giving you a taste in these videos. We're going to do 2 hours on Buckeye Talk. Steven, Nathan, I'm Doug. Get subscribed to Buckeye Talk wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're finding us on YouTube and you don't know what we do, this is what we do. We're going to do it more for the Wednesday Buckeye Talk. What is up with this quarterback battle? And also make sure you're reading us at cleveland.com/Buckeye Talk.